So I've been reading Atlas Shrugged lately, or rather, I've been listening to the audiobook. I actually do have the paperback version as well, but I knit, and the audiobook is just easier for knitting. Anyway, so when I saw this tweet today from The Hill, new California law will require more diversity in corporate boardrooms combined with everything else that's going on in California. I was like, is this Atlas Shrugged come to life? Which, by the way, I have to say, I am actually really enjoying the book. It's a I was actually really surprised at how drawn into the book I was, and it seems as though California's it's scary how accurate this book is. Oh my god, if you have not read it, or if you've not read it recently, you need to go read Atlas Shrugged. No, I haven't read a lot of Rand. I need to catch up, but definitely I'm gonna finish this one. And I bring this up because something else happened today that seemed very un-Gavin Newsom-like that I want to talk about. I got sent this article from the Daily Caller. California Governor Gavin Newsom blocks woke critical theory from becoming public school curriculum. This seems like the least Gavin Newsom thing that has ever happened. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that when people come to our team, we should welcome them with open arms. We should invite them in and say, thank you, Gavin Newsom, for having the sense to not make this a part of your public school curriculum. But it just seems so out of character. Like, what happened? Did Gavin Newsom get hit upside the head? So let's find out. Let's find out what happened from the Daily Caller. Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed a bill Wednesday that mandated an ethnic studies course as a high school graduation requirement, noting it was insufficiently balanced and inclusive. I value the role ethnic studies plays in helping students think critically about our history and understand the experience of marginalized communities in our state. Newsom's statement read, "The academic discipline will help prepare our young adults to become civically engaged and participate fully in our democracy. This bill, however, will require ethnic studies to be taught in high schools at a time when there is much uncertainty about the appropriate K-12 model curriculum for ethnic studies," he added. "Last year, I expressed concern that the initial draft of the model circular was insufficiently balanced and inclusive." This seems like kind of a cop-out answer, to be honest. I really, what is he actually saying here? What does it mean to be sufficiently balanced and inclusive? Does it mean he wanted certain types of ethnic studies courses? I mean, I don't know. The model curriculum said ethnic courses should build new possibilities for post-imperial life that promotes collective narratives of transformative I mean, is this basically saying that it was proposing that it was going to teach communism? Build new possibilities for post-imperial life that promotes collective narratives. Collective, that's going to be communism and socialism, of transformative resistance. And that was the thing that Gavin Newsom was opposed to. So, I don't know, guys. I think this actually might be a good sign that Gavin Newsom might actually be smarter than I had previously given him credit for. It also said teachers should focus on one system of power like sexism and patriarchy, and then offer students information on different perspectives found across the ethnic groups. Systems of power can be analyzed using the 4 I's of oppression: ideology, institutional, interpersonal, and internalized. The instructional guidance reads, other systems of power includes capitalism, which has the capability to control circumstance within economic, political, and socioeconomic context. What did I tell you? That they were talking about communism and socialism with this new curriculum, but it looks as though Gavin Newsom is not in favor of teaching that capitalism is an imperial system of power, which, again, I actually think, guys, this is good news. Listen, when the opposition side does something correct, does something that is sensible and logical, no matter how absurd their other ideas are, we need to throw them a bone and say, thank you for not being woke in this one specific, minute instance. As part of the proposed course outline, students would also get a chance to write a paper detailing certain events in American history that have led to Jewish and Irish Americans gaining racial privilege. What? Okay. They wanted students to write a paper detailing how Jewish and Irish Americans gained racial privilege. You know what Robin DiAngelo would call this? She would call this there is actually a segment in White Fragility in which Robin DiAngelo is talking to an Italian, and the Italian's like, dude, like, Italians have been discriminated against throughout history in the United States, and, you know, why aren't you talking about us? And Robin DiAngelo was like, oh, no. You've ascended to whiteness. Is that basically what they're telling these students in this curriculum that has been vetoed by Gavin Newsom to write a paper about how Jewish and Irish Americans ascended to whiteness? Oh my God. See, you guys can tell when I don't read the articles I'm reporting on because literally I predict what they're going to say and then they say it. They will be asked to think critically about why and who is allowing this evolution in white identity, and how this shift is affecting the identity of Irish and Jewish Americans. However, members of California's Legislative Jewish Caucus pushed back and inserted guardrail language to prevent anti-Jewish bias in the curriculum. Good. The amended bill passed by the state Senate included the stipulations that all course materials will be appropriate for the use with pupils of all races, religions, genders, sexual orientations, and diverse ethnic and cultural backgrounds, and that the curriculum does not reflect or promote directly or indirectly any bias, bigotry, or discrimination against any persons or group of people. I wonder if perhaps they considered adding, you know, diversity of thought or something, acknowledging that, because listen, I covered an article probably like 2-3 weeks ago on this channel, which was about teachers talking about how when parents red pill their students, that the teachers feel as though they have failed the students when their parents actually teach them more conservative values. Fun fact, I actually just got an email. I have email notifications going on while I'm watching this video, and I just got an email from someone named Tilly Tittybottom, and whatever you like at yahoo.com. I'm gonna guess that's hate mail. What do you guys think? Do we want to do a live hate mail reading? That's probably not a good idea. I'm going to read the hate mail off the video, and then I might post it later on my Twitter if it's sufficiently funny enough. Anyway, Newsom's veto comes more than a month after he signed a law requiring students at California State University to take an ethnic studies course to graduate. I heard about this as well, and I was like, that's what made this law so confusing to me, like why he vetoed this, because I knew that he had signed this requirement into law. New law in California requires students to take ethnic studies course to graduate. Students in California State University will be required to take an ethnic studies course to graduate according to a new law. Beginning in the 21-22 academic year, students of CSU might be given the option to take a course on race and ethnicity. Starting in 24-25, students will be required to take a 3-credit ethnic studies course to graduate. The law, which costs an estimated $16 million that California doesn't have because they're driving everyone to leave the state of California except Dave Rubin because he is crazy, but crazy in a good way. He's fighting the good fight, will be applied to all of CSU's 23 campuses, which enroll over 481,000 students. According to the legislation, which was originally written by Democratic Assemblywoman Shirley Weber of San Diego, ethnic studies are into blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to find out, okay, the new requirements will, okay, so it doesn't actually say what the bill is, but this does seem contradictory to me. Although, I mean, you can make the argument that students at the college level should probably be exposed to more than the high school level. Whatever. I don't really understand the distinction. If you guys can figure out what the distinction is based on either of these articles, please let me know. I will link them both in the description below. But I really just wanted to do this because it was just unexpected. It just popped up on my news feed. It's unexpected. I don't know. Like, I'm not ready to give Gavin Newsom a slow clap just yet. That might be a bit far, but I think that when people do things correctly, we should celebrate it. So thank you, Gavin Newsom, for vetoing stupid woke curriculum in public schools. Just because you've done a lot of bad stuff lately doesn't mean I can't give you a point for this, but if you come back and you institute a bill that actually involves more woke curriculum, like I'll do a video ripping you apart then, because my fear in this is that the curriculum that he vetoed wasn't woke enough for his particular tastes. But we'll see. In the meantime, we never want to anticipate that the worst happens. I I know, guys, you tell me I'm a little naive sometimes, but I really do want to see the best in people. I want to hope for the best in people, and I want to hope that Gavin Newsom is saying a lot of crap publicly because he's playing politics, but behind the scenes he's like, this woke nonsense is crazy, and that's why he vetoed it. I'm going to live in that reality just for a moment. All right, folks, I covered stories like this all the time on my channel. I do daily content related to politics, culture, a lot of stuff around critical race theory and social justice, because that, I think, is the biggest enemy of our time. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please consider subscribing, turning on notifications, leaving a comment to feed that YouTube algorithm, sharing it out to your friends who may need a little perspective on what's going on in the world. And yeah, that's all I got for right now. I'll see you soon.